Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Crazy D's Equipment. So a lot of you have been asking the question, how do we decide what we're going to put on the lot? So let's go discuss how me and Doc decide that. Okay guys, well, welcome to the office. So I thought this would be a good place to do this discussion. My base of operations where most of these decisions are made. So let's first start out with, you guys have been asking, how do you guys decide what's going to go on the lot and what you guys are going to either part out or whatever. Well, and let's kind of go over, let's start with where most of the stuff that goes on the lot comes from. The majority of this stuff is either bought from individuals, bought at auction. We use several different auction places that we buy, a lot of local auctioneers. We do a lot of buying of tractors off of a government site. I believe it's like Gov Deals or whatever. I don't use Purple Wave, I don't use Big Iron. Those sites, most of the stuff ends up selling for retail or close enough to retail that by the time I get it transported here, et cetera, that there isn't anything left to be made on it. A lot of stuff comes in on trade-in. I kind of share that stuff with you guys as it comes in and stuff, but that's kind of how we stock the lot. So sometimes we get tractors that have more problems than they're worth. And those are the ones I think you guys are the most curious about, how we decide what we're going to do. So it's a very simple formula that I do with this. So I have to figure in, very simple, the resale value of the tractor. Let's use for an example, there was a while ago, I mean, we just had the 1030, but before that I had a Massey Ferguson 65. So that Massey Ferguson 65, and I think Doc can throw you a picture of it up here somewhere. That Massey Ferguson 65 come in, I bought it for a very low amount. It wasn't running at the time. When we first started tinkering with it, Doc thought, oh, all we're going to need to do is put points on this tractor. So we put points on the tractor. It got it to run, but it didn't run good. And then it needed an intake manifold gasket, and then it needed a carburetor rebuild, and then it needed this and that and the other thing. And then all of a sudden, the throttle lever broke off, which was a whole tear down one side for Juniorman to re-weld that and stuff, and I pulled the plug on that tractor. At that point, the tractor was done. I mean, after we put all that in it and it still wasn't ready to go, I made the decision to pull the plug on it, and we just sold it as is. And the gentleman that bought it is that's what he wanted, was something to just tinker on, and that tractor will always require tinkering. But there's a mathematical equation that I kind of have to use. So it's very simple. I have to start out with, what did we pay for the tractor? So that gives me my base of where we're at. Then we figure out repairs on the tractor. What are they going to come into? So I got to figure in parts, and then I got to figure in labor, because Doc doesn't work for free. As much as I would prefer him to, he will not work for free for me. Not a very good brother. He gets paid for his work, and then there's, if it requires Juniorman's help, Juniorman gets paid for his work. Again, I don't know, family, you think they'd work for free, but they won't. And then I got to figure in resell that tractor. So if it's going to cost me, say, $2,000 in parts for a job, the rebuild of that 1030, for an example, that was going to, by the time the heads were done, the rebuild kit, the Doc wanted new O-ring gaskets and stuff for the injectors, et cetera, et cetera. I was going to have to send the crank off to be turned. By the time I got done with that, we were about $5,000 in parts. Then I would figure all of Doc's labor. I think he told me he figured about 10 to 20 hours that he was going to have to put in that thing. So what Doc gets paid, you know, that wraps up to about $1,500 in payment to Doc. He's going to use a little bit of junior mint, so there's a little bit more, and it snowballs. So I gave $2 grand for that tractor. I would have been $5,000 into parts, $1,500 into labor on a tractor that sells somewhere between $4,500 to in really good condition. I can get 85 out of one of those. That one unfortunately would not, even after the engine rebuild, the rest of the issues on that tractor, the cosmetic stuff would kept it from bringing the full price on it. Even if I did swap out the rear tires and put a better set and stuff on it, it wouldn't have done any good. So we would have ended up being in the hole roughly on that tractor about $4 grand. And that's why I pulled the plug on that. So that kind of gives you guys a little bit of idea why we do what we do on the ones that we end up pulling the plug. Now, that tractor's not going to go to scrap. It'll go out to the farm. I got another one out here. We decided it isn't worth the time and effort to repair. You guys seen a video earlier of the 930 case with the loader. We're going to pull the loader off. I'm going to put it on something else. And that tractor is going to get stripped down too. It's got decent rubber on the back. It got one good front tire. The power steering pump seems to be good. So we'll strip that thing down to its bare bones. And what I decide we don't need for parts, or I don't want to hold on for parts, or I'm not going to be able to resell for parts, that stuff will probably end up going into the crushers, because I just don't have room to store it just in case. If I had the room to store it just in case, then we would definitely just do that. We would store it just in case we might need it in the future. And yes, a few times that has come back to bite me in the butt, that, oh man, we had that, but now we don't. I mean, that 1030 case, you know, I'll pull the cab. I have resold those cabs for $400 or $500. Some of my case guys I know like that. I will definitely pull the power steering pump. We will pull the injector pump because it was working good. I probably won't keep the heads on that tractor because I got a feeling that they're cracked. I will probably double check that to see what we think, but we'll kind of go through it. The radiator will be saved, the tin work will be saved, we'll pull the cab, the fenders, probably pull those. I could use a set of those. The tires on the back will make good roller tires or emergency tires for a tractor. So we'll kind of work our way through that tractor from top to bottom and pull out everything that's worth pulling out, and what's left after we get done, which is just a shell and not much of a shell, we'll probably go into the scrap man and come back as a Honda, as sad as that is, because I never like to see a tractor in any condition end up there. But I just, like I said, I don't have the space to store this stuff until in case we need it. So, but I don't know if that really kind of answers your guys' questions, or if we cover for what you're wanting to know, or what a lot of you asked. And I've had about 30-40 comments especially down in the videos of the 1030 tractor videos of, you know, why are you guys gonna give up? I mean, the kit's only $1,500. Why would you not finish this tractor, do the rebuild, et cetera? Well, that's why. That is exactly why I'm not going to do it, because there is nothing in the end for me to do it profit-wise. I would actually end up just throwing money in the trash. you know, and it's a fine line you walk when you're doing used equipment sales. You know, I don't want junk to leave the lot. I don't want to send somebody a tractor that's in 5 months, 3 months, 2 months going to break down, and they're going to go, why did I buy that tractor from that fat SOB? You know, I want people to be satisfied, and I want people to be happy with what they take off our lot. I want them to be able to use the tractor. I want it to be useful to them, you know. So we try to redo as much repair as we possibly can without putting ourselves in a hole. For an example, we got that 986. Now that 986, we've done a crud load of work on it, and it's about to leave the lot to get a little bit more work on it, because here just recently it decided it wants to put itself into 2 gears when you're in high gear. There's a linkage that needs to be replaced, and it's going off to Floyd's to get that done today. Now that tractor there, I've put a new TA in it. We fixed the AC system. We put a cab kit in it. We put a seat in it. We replaced all the fluids in the tractor. We replaced all the filters. It's got immaculate rubber on the back and stuff. So, but that tractor, when I picked it up, the person who sold it to me with the TA out sold it to me as thinking it was junk. It was a parts tractor. So we got it at a very decent price. I don't want to say what the price is. I'm sorry. I don't want to tell you guys what the price is. And after we put that labor in it, we're about $4,000 or $5,000 into parts and labor with Floyd doing the work. So the profitability on that tractor is there. It's worth doing that. Those tractors sell for $14,000 to $20,000. So at that price, you know, it's worth dumping that kind of money into the tractor to bring it up to do for the resale. And it makes somebody a really good tractor. All those problems that are very common on a 986 are now solved for now. You know, you can't fix something forever, but you definitely can fix something for a while for somebody, and that's definitely what we did there. So, but anyways, guys, I hope that answers your questions. I hope you see where we're going with this, and I hope you enjoyed. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. If you're not, thank you guys for coming in. We appreciate each and every single one of you, and for you guys, just kind of know, we're planning on doing some more videos like the lawn and garden one with Sis, but we're going to actually try to get her to work on some actual tractors, which will be hilarious in itself. So anyways, guys, thank you for watching, and I will catch you later on this week.